Hello, Paul here from the Open Mind Institute. I want to talk to you today about how to effectively communicate within the workplace. And I want to give you 3 tips to achieve exactly that. But why is this so important? Workplaces have changed. We aren't communicating face to face as often as what we once did. We're relying on artificial tools such as emails, or whether it's communicating behind a screen. And what we're experiencing is this abundance of misinformation and compromised translation. But before we talk about effective communication, let's define what communication really is. And it's quite simple. It's the transference of information or a message from one brain to the other. However, when there is division between the sender and receiver, when we have divisions in place, this is when communication becomes tainted. So what can we do to give rise to effective communication within the workplace? Here are my 3 tips. So tip number 1, in relation to improving effective communication within the workplace, is you need to build trust and transparency. And you achieve this by improving information sharing internally. Staff want to be included when it comes to decision making, when it comes to the direction that the company is heading in. And you need to introduce platforms in order to do this, and preferably these platforms should be face-to-face, not necessarily via email. And I'm talking about things like holding regular town hall meetings or even virtual coffee catch-ups, for instance. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is you need to understand and use emotional and social intelligence. This is really crucial when it comes to effective communication. And employees, leaders, staff, they need to understand the nuances of what this involves. So let me tell you briefly about what EI and SI entail. When it comes to emotional intelligence, you need to have a healthy level of understanding and self-awareness. You need to know what emotions are and how they work. And when you hear that word emotions, I want you to think of it in terms of energy in motion, because that's what it is. It's literally chemicals, hormones pumping through the bloodstream to enable us to respond to a certain situation or challenge in an operative way. So understanding what emotions are absolutely critical, and then being in a position to realizing this in real time then puts you in the driver's seat to start modifying the emotional response or being able to self-regulate. And sometimes this can be as simple as doing some deep breathing in that moment. So leveraging things like diaphragmatic or box method breathing. So that was emotional intelligence. And once you have an understanding of what that is, how that works, you are then able to move into the realm of social intelligence. And this is critical within the workplace. So it's about recognizing this emotional response in your team, in your colleagues, and leveraging things like active listening, leading with empathy. And this in turn really enhances communication and authentic collaboration. So that's tip number 2, leveraging emotional and social intelligence. And my 3rd and final tip for improving effective communication within the workplace is to introduce workplace coaching. Now, workplace coaching can be defined as the process of strengthening team dynamics through building one-on-one relationships and providing employees with the evidence-based tools to improve communication and achieve their performance outcomes. Now, 2 important words in that definition are relationships and processes. And that takes me to our workplace coaching formula, which is as follows: strong relationships plus consistent processes equate to effective communication and achieving performance outcomes for your organization. So there you have it, my 3 tips on improving effective communication within the workplace. In relation to that last tip, I don't care if you are coaching teams and employees internally by managers, for instance, or if you retain the services of experts such as the Open Mind Institute. But what I can tell you is that it is imperative. We are seeing the demand for this service increase globally. It's imperative with the advent of things like the Great Resignation. So if you want further information on workplace coaching, I'd encourage you, click on the link below, find out more about our program, and always keep an open mind.